My name is Jessica Spybrook, and I am one of the developers of the Registry of Efficacy and Effectiveness Studies, hereafter referred to as REES. The purpose of this brief tutorial is to give you a quick overview and tips for completing a REES entry. REES is a database of causal inference studies in education and related social science fields. It is designed to increase the transparency of and access to information about both ongoing and completed impact studies. REES accommodates a range of study designs, including randomized trials, quasi-experiments, regression discontinuity designs, and single case designs. The REES database is searchable and exportable. A REES entry includes basic study information as well as the details related to a pre-analysis plan. So for many research teams, this means that the substantive expert as well as the methodologist will enter information in REES. REES is set up to allow multiple people to contribute to an entry. Each person who plans to enter information will need an account in REES and will be listed as an administrator for the study. This is easy to do, and I will show you how when I demonstrate the basic features of REES. To begin, you will want to first set up an account. As a new user, you need to create an account, which you can do by clicking on this link. Once you have an account, you can log in via that same link. I'm going to log in using my credentials, and you will see that I'm still at the main screen. But you can also see in the top right corner that now I have entered into my own account. From here, you can register a study by clicking either on this top link or in the middle of the screen. Search the registry by clicking at the link at the top or in the middle of the screen, or go to studies that you have already entered by clicking on My Registry. I want to briefly show you how to enter a study in REES, so I'm clicking on Register a Study. Clicking here takes us to the Instructions and Setup page. The current version of REES is specifically built for those planning studies in pre-K through 12 settings, which is why the domain of education is selected. In the future, we anticipate extending beyond education to other domains within the social sciences. A REES entry includes 8 sections. Section 1 and 2 include basic study information such as title, funder, description of intervention, target grade levels, etc. These 2 sections are often completed by the substantive expert. Sections 3 through 7 include details related to the research design and analysis plan. These sections are often completed by the methodologist. Section 8 is simply a place to upload additional information or provide links to additional information such as the logic model, cost analysis plan, instrument development plan, etc. More information about what is in each of these sections can be found in the Help option, Registry Entry Checklist. Note that the information differs depending on the research design, so select the appropriate research design to find more information. For example, if I select randomized trial, I see a breakdown of each section. This can be really helpful as you think about what information is needed to complete an entry. Going back to the Instructions and Setup page, there is one question before beginning the registry entry related to whether there is one registry entry or multiple sub-entries. The rules for defining a sub-entry are provided here. If there is more than one entry, you will have the opportunity to copy and paste the information from sections 1 and 2 across all sub-entries. For this example, I assume I have only one entry. Clicking on Continue will bring you to Section 1, General Study Information. I'm going to give this a title called Just Demo for demonstration purposes. All sections are set up similarly in that there may be a mix of questions with categorical responses as well as open-ended responses. At the end of each section, there is an opportunity to provide additional information in case you want to explain anything further. As you can see by the buttons on the bottom, you can save and return to your entry at any time. You may also download an HTML or PDF of the current section or entire entry at any point. You may also publish your entry at any time, though we caution you not to do this until you have completed all the sections, as publishing your entry moves it into the public domain and allows others to find your study through the search option. Some sections rely on information from prior sections. For example, if I try to move to section 4B, Study Design Input, I get the following error that says I must first respond to section 4A. As such, we recommend that you proceed through the sections in order, knowing that you can go back to any section at any time. At any time while entering a study or after you complete the entry, you may click Save and Go Home. This brings you to your personal table of contents page. It shows any study in which you are either an administrator or a collaborator. As I mentioned before, an administrator may edit an entry. A collaborator may view an entry before it is public, but may not edit information. You can easily add administrators or collaborators from here. In addition, you may go back in and edit, delete, or publish your entry. Clicking on Publish brings me to the following screen. From here, I can say Publish, which will make it public and will also timestamp the current version of the entry. Note that once you publish a study, it cannot be deleted. For demonstration purposes, I have a study that was already published, study 1911.1V1, which simply means version 1. This is the original version of the study. However, we all know that things change, and we encourage folks to update their REES entry to reflect the changes. For this study, I also have a V2, which means that changes were made to version 1, and the most recent version is version 2. When you make changes, you will have the opportunity to provide a narrative description of the changes, as well as to update the entry itself. Clicking on the PDF for V2 shows how these changes are documented on an entry. We can see the version history, which shows the date and time the version was published, a spot for a narrative description of the changes, as well as a link to the prior version. Folks who are searching the registry will have access to both versions of the entry, so they are aware of how and why things changed over time. This concludes our brief tutorial of REES. Please contact us via the link at the top of the screen if you have further questions. Thank you.